Every awakening soul will discover their intuitive gifts the more they're awakening. Now, if you are on your spiritual awakening journey, you may have already uncovered some of your intuitive gifts. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you're not even sure if you have intuitive gifts. If that's you, then this video is for you, because I want to share with you some of the 9 common signs that you have intuition, that you have intuitive gifts, and that you are an intuitive soul. So if you would like to know what those signs are, then stay tuned. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. In case you don't know me, my name is Kay Sanders. I'm a divine messenger and celestial healer, here to assist awakening souls on their spiritual awakening journey to really awaken to their power within, so they can step into their power and create more success, abundance, and freedom in their life, all while living their life on purpose. Now, if that's you, then I do want to invite you. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I release new content. So you may have already uncovered some of your intuitive gifts. Maybe you've had your intuition, your intuitive gifts for some time, or maybe they're starting to develop and you're not quite sure, is this my intuition? Do I even have intuitive gifts? Now in this video, I really want to break it down a little bit further to give you some insights into what are some of those signs, or what are some of those intuitive gifts that you may have or that you may develop moving forward. Because as you are on your spiritual awakening journey, the more you awaken, the more you actually uncover and develop your intuitive gifts, your divine gifts, your spiritual gifts, the gifts that you already hold within, but you just have forgotten that you have them. Now, the first sign is that you feel those soul-to-soul connections with other people. Now, have you ever met someone that you literally just met that person, you guys started talking, and you felt like you have known this person for years now, like all your life? That is a soul-to-soul connection, where you really feel that connection with people. Because, I mean, we're all interconnected. We all are one. We are all connected as one. But not everyone can feel that. Not everyone picks up on that. But if you come across someone and you just feel that connection, or even if it's someone in your life that you have known for some time and you just feel so deeply connected to them, that is what I'm talking about. That is a soul-to-soul connection, that you're literally connected on a soul level. Now, you may call it a soulmate or a twin flame or whatever you want to call this, but it's really when you feel this deep, deep, deep connection to another person. Like you feel like you have known that person for many, many years. You just feel it. You just know deep within that there is a deeper connection there. That is considered a soul-to-soul connection. Now, you being an intuitive being, being an intuitive soul, you pick up on that a lot easier too. Because like I said, we all are connected. We all are one. You and me, we are connected. And the more your intuition, your intuitive gifts develop, the more you feel those soul-to-soul connections. Even with people that you have never even met. Maybe you feel a soul-to-soul connection with me just watching my videos. That is because we're so deeply connected on an energetic, on a soul level. So that's the first sign, is those deep, that you're feeling those deep soul-to-soul connections. The second sign is that you just know things. You may know things before they happen, or you just have those insights. You just know things. Let's say you just have that feeling that something is about to happen, and then a few days later or whatnot, it does happen. Or you feel like all of a sudden you feel like you're thinking about this one person. All of a sudden this person just comes to mind, and then all of a sudden they're actually calling you. Or you then see that person, across on the street or something like that within a few days. That is like your soul already knows that you are about to meet this person. This person is about to call you, or something is about to happen. That is, you may also call this premonition or something like that, but you just know things that others may don't, or you just know those things that before they actually happen. That is also a sign that you're a highly intuitive soul. If you just know things that, like I said, others may not, or you know things before they even happen. The third sign is that you are just so sensitive to your environment. Now, what I mean with that is maybe you're very challenged to actually go to the store. because you, as the highly intuitive person, you pick up so much. Now this also then, kickstarts your empathic gifts as well. But when you're just so sensitive to your environment, whether it's you go to the store and you're feeling so much, because as an intuitive person, as an intuitive soul, you're also an empathic soul, right? Because it's like, think of it like that, your antennas are very far out and you're picking up on just about everything. So you going to the store may be very overwhelming for you because you are picking up so much. You're picking up on people's thoughts, their feeling. If something happened, and if someone is really upset, you pick up on that, and it's just so much. You're picking up so much. But now also, when I talk about environment, it's not just about going to places, going to the store or whatnot, but you may also be very, very sensitive to just the collective, like the environment. Let's say there's going to be a full moon, a new moon, a Mercury retrograde, or other planets being in retrograde, or just those energetic shifts that are happening whenever there's a gateway that opens up. You, as the intuitive soul, you may pick up that something is happening on a collective level, on an energetic level. So you being very sensitive to your environment is also a great sign that you are a highly intuitive soul. Now here I do want to invite you, check out the video in the description below. It's about how to protect your energy, because as a highly sensitive soul, as a highly intuitive soul, or also an empath, you need to learn to protect your energy. You need to protect yourself so you won't be as affected by everything that's going on. But you just being so sensitive to your environment is also a sure sign that you are intuitive soul, because you're just picking up on, it's like you're reading between the lines in a sense. You're feeling between the lines. So you being very sensitive to your environment, it's also a sure sign that you're very intuitive. Now the fourth sign is that you can pick up on people's thoughts and also their feelings. Now, as a highly intuitive soul, you can hear people's thoughts. Now, you may not actually hear their thoughts like in your mind like that, and like, oh, okay, I just heard their thoughts, but you're picking up on what they're sending out. So on a telepathic, so you basically have those telepathic abilities where you simply hear their thoughts, and it may sound like your own, or you just then also, like I said, you just maybe know things that people are thinking. But you, as the highly intuitive soul, you can pick up on people's thoughts and feelings as well, which you want to learn how to really determine, are these thoughts and the feelings that you're having, are these yours, or are these thoughts and feelings that you're picking up from, all around you? Now, this can also be very challenging, especially if you're looking around the world right now, there's a lot going on. Now, if you have been challenged, that could be because you are picking up all the stuff that's going on around the globe. There's so many people in agony and frustration, in worry, and all of those different things. When we're looking at all the crazy weather and just everything that's been happening across the globe, people are in fear, in doubt, in worry, and all of those different things. And you can actually pick up on that as well. So if you have been feeling very challenged as of lately, you may want to really learn to determine, is whatever you're feeling and thinking, is this yours, or are you just picking up on that? Because you, as the intuitive soul, you are picking up on the stuff, and you may not even know that you are. So just be sure that you really tune in and check in with yourself. Is what you're feeling and experiencing, is this yours, or is this someone else's? And if it is, then just return it to sender with love and gratitude attached, right? Because you don't need to hold on to that. But that is the fourth sign. Now, the fifth sign is that as an intuitive soul, you're also an amazing lie detector. Because as you are picking up on people's feelings and thoughts and those type of things, well, guess what? Then you also can feel whenever they're lying to you, whenever someone is dishonest with you, whenever someone is maybe holding something back, maybe not telling you the full truth, just a little bit of whatnot, or giving you even maybe a white lie. Because since you're so sensitive, and you're picking up on so much from the feeling, the energetic level, and everything, you can literally pick up when someone is dishonest. So that really makes you an amazing lie detector, because you can literally feel when someone is dishonest with you. And then you can call them out on it, or you can choose for yourself what you're going to do moving forward. Now, the sixth sign is that all of your senses are more sharpened as well. Now, some clears may be more developed than others, where maybe you see the unseen, hear the unheard, know the unknown, and feel the unfelt. So basically, these are the four senses, the four clears, is that where you may really, you develop more of a hearing, where you really hear maybe spirit, maybe you hear the angels, maybe you just hear things that other people can't, or you feel what other people can't feel. You may see things that other people can't see. Here, that could also be maybe you're seeing spirit, you're seeing angels, you're seeing elementals, whatever it is, right? So you basically see the unseen. And then you may also then develop that inner knowing of certain things. So your inner knowing develops more as well. So that also is a great sign of being a highly intuitive soul, when any of those clears develop more. Now, you may have all of those clears quite open, where you hear and see and feel and know, but there will be maybe one or two of those clears that are actually more evolved than others, where you may have more of that inner knowing, but you don't really see as much. Or maybe you hear more but don't know as much, right? You don't have that inner knowing as much. So usually it's like one or two of your clears are more developed than others. But that also is a sign of a highly intuitive soul, is when your clears are really more developed, when you just see the unseen, hear the unheard, know the unknown, and feel the unfelt. Right? Like, and then I'm talking about like compared to the not so intuitive people, the people that are really still deeply asleep and haven't awoken yet. And the more you awaken, the more your clears actually develop as well, where you then also maybe develop the clears that haven't been as active either, haven't been as developed. Which is actually quite beautiful thing when you have those divine gifts of really developing your clears. It's really a beautiful thing, because it opens more doors for you as well to really work with the higher realms, the unseen realms as well. Which brings me to the seventh sign, is that you are more connected to the higher realms, actually, where you may start working more with the angels, the like spirit guides, spirit animals, other light beings, maybe the dragons, the unicorns. I mean, there's so many light beings out there that are just waiting for us to really wake up so they can work through us, because we are here, us light workers, light beings, highly intuitive and empathic souls. We are here to be basically the helpers for the divine, where the divine, the light beings, can work through us. But we need to really develop our own intuitive senses and really awaken more. And the more you really awaken, the more connected you feel, if that's really what you choose to really go into, if you allow yourself, because you have free will. Now, none of the light beings will just interfere in your life. They come into your life when you are ready to welcome them into your life. And even then, you can still choose not to experience something. Now here, I just want to mention something, because something happened to me that really scared me quite intensely, where I shut down in a way. So there was one time that I saw something that really scared me. I don't even know what exactly it was. I was looking in a person's face, or even saw a picture, and I saw like an entity in a way. Like I saw this person like really old, and it scared me. And at that time I said, I don't want to see that. And I shut that part down. And I haven't seen that stuff ever since. So even though you will develop your gifts, it doesn't mean that you have to have everything, keep everything. If there's anything that you are simply not ready to experience, where you don't want to have that, you can choose to not allow this to unfold, where you can, in a sense, reject that until maybe later you are ready for that. So don't think just because you're an intuitive soul, you're developing your gifts, that you have to deal with everything that you're experiencing, because some of the things that you're experiencing on your spiritual development journey and the spiritual awakening journey can be scary. And if you're not quite ready to experience it all, or develop everything, develop all of your gifts, you don't have to. You truly have free will. So like I said, if there's anything that scares you, just say, no, I do not want this. And then later on, if you do ever want to then get back to it, if you feel ready for that, then you can choose to allow this to unfold again. But like I mentioned, you do develop more of a deeper connection with the higher realms, the unseen realms, in ways that are to your highest and greatest good, in the way you are meant to work with the light beings. Like I said, you are meant to work with them to bring their message to the world, to bring their work to the world, right? So you are basically then the divine messenger, right? The messenger to the divine, to the beings of light. If you so choose, there's also a choice for that. You don't have to. You can just do this working with them for yourself. But if you then feel called to then maybe share it with the world, they're just waiting for you to choose to do that. So the 8th sign is that you may have those very unreasonable mood swings where one moment you're feeling great, the next moment you just want to crawl in bed and pull the blanket over your head and not come out anymore for days or weeks at a time because it's just so much. And that's because you're just picking up so much. You're picking up so much from people in your life, people in your surroundings, and even on a collective level. So it's like this whole emotional roller coaster that doesn't make sense. You may even thinking like, hey, am I developing like depression or going bipolar, or do I have some other mental disorder or anything like that? It's because it can be very challenging. That's why it's so important that you learn to protect your energy. Now I have a playlist, like the Empath Survival Tip playlist. It's in the description below. There are videos in there that can really help you really step into your power and protect your energy, even develop your intuition even more if you so choose, but doing it in a way that is safe. But you learning how to really protect your energy is so very important, just mainly also for your own sanity, because you can have those emotional mood swings where it's really like that emotional roller coaster, where it's not like really nice and easy and smooth, but it's just like up and down, and it can leave you feeling really like you're losing your mind. So that's another sign that you're highly intuitive, because you're simply picking up so much. And that's why it's important that you learn how to protect that, how to protect yourself from everything that's going on. And the 9th and final sign is that you may have very vivid dreams, where you may feel like you're actually in there, like, or you're going somewhere in your sleep, or you may be on a different plane or something like that. But, just think back. Have you ever had a dream where you woke up and you felt like you were actually, like it was real, where you felt like you were literally there? It's also a great sign that you're very intuitive, because you could have had an out-of-body experience where your soul literally left your body, went into a completely different plane or a different dimension, and you had that experience. So out-of-body experiences, or even just really those vivid dreams, is also a great sign that you're a highly intuitive soul. So these are really the 9 common signs that you are a highly intuitive soul. Now I want to ask you, and do me a favor, leave a comment below. How many of those signs that I just shared with you do you have? Do you experience? Or did I maybe just share some signs with you that you didn't even know about, and you're realizing that, yep, I have those. That's exactly what I'm experiencing. Do me a favor, leave a comment below. I would love to know. And also, if you like this content so far, do me a favor, hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate that. But now let's say you want to go a little deeper. You want to really develop your intuition even more. You're at the point you're saying, yes, I want to learn more. I want to go deeper into this. I do want to invite you. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification bell, and also go through my playlist that I have on my channel, the other videos that I have on my channel, because that's what I focus on. Now, I also have some additional resources in the description below. If you really want to go deeper with this and really learn more, check out the resources that I have in the description below. But I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I truly am grateful that you're here, and I'm also so honored that I get to help you on your spiritual awakening journey. Even if it's just you watching my videos, I'm super grateful for that. So thanks so much for being here. Be sure to check out this next video right here. I think you're going to love it, to help you more on your spiritual awakening journey. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant, successful day. Namaste.